Welcome back. I am John Najarian from Investitute.com, and I'm here at Traders Expo, New York City, at the Hilton Hotel live with Boris Schlossberg. Boris is, well, you've been associated with Forex almost your entire adult life.
Exactly. I'm feeling very old these days, yes.
BKForex.com is where you can go to see more about what Boris and the team are doing over there.
Exactly.
Now, Boris, I see so many catalysts on the horizon, so I'm jealous because I don't trade a lot of FX.
Right.
I track it. I note how strong the dollar's been, but we both know a lot of that is because, well, Mr. Powell, you raise interest rates 8 times, you're going to see the dollar getting stronger and the currency pairs all react to that because nothing happens in an isolation, does it?
Correct. And you know, interest rates are the thing that drives currencies the most. So of course the fact that U.S. raised interest rates right out of the gate has really helped the dollar appreciate. But now we're in a very much of a pause situation. And now I think so many macro stories really hitting the market. You have, of course, the unknown tension between what's happening with China trade, which is really a dominant story for all the markets. Your market in equities and my market in currencies is very dependent on that because there'll be so much fallout if nothing happens. You know, I think the markets are very concerned that if they don't do a trade deal with China, you could really go into a global kind of a Cold War recession. And you're already seeing a lot of signs of this. For example, South Korea, Japan, all of Asia is really slowing down materially because China itself is kind of very uncertain situation. So if they don't do a trade deal, I think it's going to create a lot of volatility across all markets, and FX is going to be primary beneficiary of that, of course.
Now, another one that's just coming up at us, seems like every month we talk about it, Brexit that is,
but this is
and when is it coming, and fact, now it's right upon us.
Exactly, now we're talking about it, and tomorrow is D-Day for Brexit, because of course they're going to do the big vote in Parliament, and to this day nobody really knows if it's going to pass or not, and nobody really knows what happens next, because sort of the nightmare scenario is a hard Brexit, right? Which could create unbelievable hardship across all of UK. I just read today, for example, that just something simple as repair shops. All the repair shops in UK depend on just-in-time pieces for cars, and they literally think that 3,000 repair shops could go out of business in 1 month if they have a hard Brexit because they can't get any of the goods out of Europe. You're talking about pharmaceuticals, you're talking about food. So I think the situation is so severe, they will not allow it to go to hard Brexit. They will either delay, which will be a positive.
And I think that's the most likely scenario.
The most likely scenario, simply because they can't come to terms. Or maybe Theresa May will be able to pull out a rabbit out of the hat tomorrow, and she'll get everybody to agree to her deal, which is a way for them to stay in the customs union. The latest I heard, of course, is the Europeans have kind of offered some concessions. Whether it's going to be enough remains to be seen. But one thing we know, pound was crazy today, it's going to be crazy tomorrow. It's going to be an unbelievable trading opportunity. You know, my computer was going on and off already in the show like 10 times today because lots of trading going on. So it's definitely very exciting times to be in the FX market.
Now, also Canada. And a lot of folks, of course, they know about Canada with oil and cannabis, but obviously at this stage anyway, even though cannabis is very exciting, oil is, you know, that's a global asset, trades in dollars around the world, but you've got Canada, which pumps a lot of it and sends it to China, right?
Right, exactly. And now there's all this tension between Canada and China because of the highway arrest of the CFO. So Canada has really been under a lot of stress, and that's going to be a very interesting story here. So anywhere you look, it's sort of the China story, one way or the other, that needs to be resolved in order for us to have some positive risk in the FX market as we go forward.
Beautiful, Boris. Thank you, sir. Folks, Boris Schlossberg, few people better at describing exactly the potential that could be beneficial or detrimental to global markets and to your money. I'm John Najarian for Investitute at Traders Expo.